So you're thinking about starting a Shopify store. Awesome. But there's always that one big question, right? Beyond that sticker price for the monthly plan, what's it really going to cost you? Well, today we are going to pull back the curtain and demystify the true cost of running a Shopify store. The goal here is to get you so comfortable with the numbers that you can build your business on a rock-solid financial foundation. All right, let's jump right in.
And yeah, this is the question, isn't it? It's the one that keeps a lot of new entrepreneurs up at night. You see that, say, $25 a month price tag, but you just know there's more to it. You can feel it. You've got transaction fees, payment processing, apps. It all starts to pile up. So the real challenge is, how do you actually budget for all this with any kind of confidence?
This quote just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that feeling of, well, uncertainty. And listen, your gut feeling, it's totally right. That monthly plan price is just the tip of the iceberg. But here's the good news. You don't have to worry. Breaking it all down is actually way simpler than you think, once you know what you're looking for. Okay, so here's the secret. The key is to stop looking at your Shopify bill as one big, confusing mess. Instead, we're going to break it down into 3 super simple categories. Once you get a handle on these 3 core costs, I promise you'll be able to predict your monthly expenses with amazing accuracy, whether you're just starting out or you're already scaling up. So what are these big 3? Simple. Number 1, your subscription plan. That's your base cost. Number 2, transaction and payment fees. These are the fees you pay on every single sale. And number 3, the essential extras. You know, the fun stuff like apps and themes that really make your store yours. We're going to walk through each one step by step. All right, first up, let's knock out the easy one, the monthly subscription fee. This is the most straightforward part of your bill. Think of it as your rent. It's that fixed, predictable fee you pay every month just to have your digital storefront on the Shopify platform. So Shopify basically has 3 main plans you'll be looking at: Basic, Grow, and Advanced. But here's the first pro tip, and it's a big one. Look at the difference between paying month to month versus paying for the whole year upfront. If you go annual, you save about 25%. That is huge. On the basic plan, for example, that's $72 back in your pocket over the year. I mean, come on, that's your first marketing campaign right there. Okay, deep breath. Now we're getting into the part that can feel a little tricky. But stick with me, because understanding this is where you can find some of the biggest savings as your store gets bigger. We're talking about transaction and payment fees. These are the costs you pay on every single order, and they're going to be the part of your bill that fluctuates the most from month to month. Now, to really wrap your head around these fees, there's one metric you absolutely have to know. It's called your average order value, or AOV for short. It's just the average amount a customer spends per order. And this one little number has a massive, massive impact on your total costs. Why? It all comes down to a tiny fixed fee on every single transaction. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is such a great way to see it. Just look at this. Imagine you've got 2 stores, and they both make $1,000 in revenue. Store A on the left has a high AOV. They sell more expensive stuff, so they only need 10 orders to hit that $1,000. Store B on the right, they have a low AOV, lots of little sales, 100 of them to reach the same goal. Now, because of that little 30-cent fixed fee that gets tacked onto every single transaction, look at the difference. Store B pays 10 times more in those fixed fees. The takeaway here is huge. If you have a lower AOV, those transaction fees are going to chew up a much bigger chunk of your revenue. The other big piece of this puzzle is how you actually get paid. You've got 2 main options. You can use Shopify's built-in system, Shopify Payments, and you just pay one simple processing fee. Or you can use a third-party gateway like PayPal. But, and this is a big but, if you use PayPal, you pay PayPal's fee plus an extra transaction fee to Shopify on top of that. So honestly, for most stores starting out, using Shopify Payments is a total no-brainer. Why? Because they completely waive that extra fee. It's just simpler and cheaper. All right, let's talk about our third and final category. This is where the personality of your store really comes to life. Think of it like this. Your Shopify subscription is the engine of your car, but the apps and your theme, that's the custom paint job, the sound system, the cool rims. It's what gives your store its unique features and that polished professional look. And yeah, these essential extras are not included in your monthly plan. So what's a realistic budget for this stuff? Well, for apps, most new stores should plan on spending somewhere between, say, $25 and $75 a month. We're talking about the essentials here, like an app for email marketing or one to collect customer reviews. And when it comes to your theme, the overall design of your site,
Shopify's 3 themes are actually pretty great to start, but a lot of businesses eventually decide to invest in a premium theme. That's a one-time cost, usually somewhere in the ballpark of $200 to $350. Okay, so now that we've broken down all the costs, let's get strategic. This is the fun part. Upgrading your Shopify plan isn't just about getting more fancy features, it's a straight-up financial decision. And knowing exactly when to pull the trigger on an upgrade can literally save you a ton of money on those transaction fees we were just digging into. Let's tackle the first big question. You're on the basic plan, things are going well, and you're starting to wonder, is it time to upgrade to the Grow plan? At what point does paying that higher monthly subscription fee actually start saving you money and become more profitable? There's a magic number, and that magic number is $3,000. So once you hit $3,000 a month in a specific type of revenue, that's your signal. But let me break down exactly what that $3,000 refers to. Okay, to be super precise, we're talking about $3,000 a month in revenue that you process through third-party gateways. So think PayPal, Amazon Pay, stuff like that. Here's why it matters. The Grow plan drops Shopify's extra fee on those transactions from 2% all the way down to 1%. So once you're doing $3,000 a month through those gateways, the money you save on that fee is actually more than the extra cost of the Grow subscription. It literally pays for itself. All right, now let's talk to the bigger stores out there. You're cruising along on the Grow plan, business is booming, and you're starting to eye the advanced plan with its even lower transaction fees. But that monthly price is a big jump, right? So when does that leap actually make financial sense? Yeah, the break-even point for this one is quite a bit higher. We're talking about processing around $62,500 a month. And just like before, that number, that $62,500, is specifically your monthly revenue coming from those third-party payment gateways. Once your business hits that level, the savings you get on fees are so significant that the more expensive plan, well, it isn't more expensive anymore. It actually saves you money every single month, putting more profit right back into your business. Okay, so theory and numbers are great, but let's make this super practical. Let's see what this looks like in the real world. We're going to walk through 3 sample stores, all at different stages of their journey, to see exactly how all these costs stack up. First up, we've got a classic startup story, a handmade jewelry business. They're just getting started, focused on building their brand, getting those first crucial reviews, and their order volume is still pretty low. Now here's what's so interesting. For a new store doing about, let's say, $1,500 a month in sales, look at this chart. The biggest chunk of their costs isn't their subscription fee, it's the payment processing fees. That's where most of the money is going. So, all in, when you add up their subscription, all the fees, and maybe one simple app for customer reviews, their total monthly cost is around $86.50, a totally manageable number for a business just getting off the ground. Okay, let's jump into our next example. This is a home decor dropshipping store. They figured out what works, they found their groove, and they're seeing that nice, consistent sales growth month over month. Now, this store is doing about $10,000 a month in revenue, so they've smartly upgraded to the Grow plan. And look at the cost breakdown now. See how that subscription fee is a way smaller slice of the pie? Meanwhile, the payment fees have become a much, much bigger piece. This is totally normal as you scale. Their total monthly bill, factoring in a premium theme and a few more essential apps, comes out to about $477. This is a perfect illustration of how your costs will scale, pretty predictably, right along with your revenue. And for our final example, let's look at a brand that's really scaling. We're talking about an established apparel store. They're doing high monthly revenue, and they have a solid, loyal customer base that keeps coming back. Okay, this store is doing $150,000 a month. And just look at this chart. That payment fee slice has become absolutely dominant. It dwarfs everything else. Their fixed costs for the subscription and apps, they're now just a tiny sliver of their total expenses. And this is exactly why being on the advanced plan is so critical at this level. Every tiny fraction of a percent you save on fees adds up to thousands and thousands of dollars in your pocket. So their total monthly cost is just under $5,000. And yeah, that sounds like a big number, but you have to remember it's a direct reflection of their huge sales volume. The advanced plan is what's making sure they hold on to as much of that hard-earned revenue as possible. So what's the big takeaway from all of this? Really, it's about empowerment. When you truly understand your total cost of running the store, you take back control. It's the first, most critical step to building a business that's actually sustainable.
You're transforming that vague uncertainty into a clear, predictable budget.
I really love this way of thinking about it because it completely reframes the whole conversation. You're not just paying an expense, you're not just paying bills. You're making an investment in a powerful platform that takes care of all the technical nightmares, the security, the hosting, the payment processing, so you can be freed up to focus on what you're actually good at, building your brand, creating amazing products, and selling.
So there you have it. You've got the numbers. You have the framework to understand your costs no matter what stage you're at. You even know the exact break-even points for when to upgrade. The only question left is, are you ready to take all this knowledge and build something with confidence?